I'm talking about a career network. So engineering, for example, I had a student come to me many years ago and say, I want to do a job shadowing with an engineer. And I said, what kind of an engineer? And he said, I didn't know there was more than one. So that right away tells me that he doesn't know much about the area, okay? So, for example, in engineering, there's structural, mechanical, civil, there's other kinds of engineers as well, biomedical, chemical, we could go on with this. But do you see what I'm trying to get at? Like, so if your career, so let me have somebody, Abby, what is your career? Sorry.
Architecture.
Architecture. So what else could be related to architecture? What if we had architecture up here, what else would we add on to it?
Interior design, civil engineering, urban planning, interior, or wait, I said that. Like residential architecture versus urban.
Sure. Even perhaps drawing, architectural drawing, because that would be a related field. So as much as you're interested in architecture, and when I think of an architect, I think of somebody who's designing a building, let's say, okay? But there's many peripheral fields that are very related to that, that you may be much more interested in than that designing that building piece, okay? So that's one of the things we want to keep your mind open to as you're exploring your career is, what are the things that are related to it that might be of greater or even more interest than the thing that you thought in the beginning, okay? So this is to keep your mind expanding, keep yourself expanding. The medical field, I mean, this is just not even tip of the iceberg of what's in the medical field. There's so many things, and your CDM will help with that because you'll see a lot of other things that you probably haven't thought about in that CDM, okay? Anybody have 2 or 3? Okay, so what are your 3? 2.
Filmmaking and computer science.
Okay, so there is some relation there potentially, okay? So what else do you see being extensions of those, if you will?
Connected or like, well, there's obviously, there's the developing of editing software. Or do you mean like that they both intertwine?
No, let's talk about them separately.
Separate. Okay, so filmmaking, there's directing, producing, script writing.